Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at our first activity, which is the wiki activity. Now, a wiki is a collaborative document where students can work together to produce a web page. What's also quite cool about the Moodle wiki activity is that your students can be put into groups and they can each group can work on their own collaborative document. So it's a good tool for group projects. So we're going to be doing this in the next section down, topic 3, which I'll rename to Wiki Project. As always, I'm going to be nice and clear with the students, they know what's going on. So I'm going to add a label. And I'm going to paste in some text that I've already got prepared. Okay, so for our wiki activity, our students are going to be separated into 2 groups, and each group is going to work together to make a page about these concepts we've discussed above. Okay, so in this label, I've told them what they're going to be doing, and I've also put a deadline on it as well. So they're nice and clued up as to what's going on. Okay, so before I add my wiki to the course, I'm first going to set up some groups. Now, if I go into Users, Enrolled Users, under Course Administration, I'll see all of the students on my course, and I'll be able to see how I want to separate them into groups. So, these are my enrolled users. I've got myself as teacher, and I've got these 2 test students here. And because there are only 2, I'm going to add them each to their own course. To their own group. To do this, I scroll down and go to Groups, again under Course Administration. When that loads up, I'm given the option to create groups. So I want to create 2, Group A and Group B. Group A. Oh, and I'll create the second one, which will be Group B. Okay, so I've got my groups. Now it's time to add users to the group. So on the right hand side of the page, there'll be a button that says Add or Remove Users. And the great thing about this interface is you can select as many students as you want. If there were 10 or 15 students in each of my groups, it wouldn't make very much difference at all, because click one student, hold Control, and click as many as you want. So for now, all I need is Sally. I'll add her to Group A, and I'll add Denzel to Group B. So that's Sally in Group A, which is written up here. And in Group B, I'll add Denzel. Back on our course page, now we've laid the foundation for this wiki, we can go ahead and add it to the course. So it's at the bottom of the activity section. Okay, so like with most activities, you need to give it a name and a description. So I'm going to call mine Group Wiki. So I want to say something like, this is a group project. If you have any questions, please email me, I guess. The first page will be called Producer Surplus. So we want a collaborative wiki. Uses HTML, simply because that's the easiest for students to use. Under Common Module Settings, we want to change this to Separate Groups. No groupings. And yes, we only want group members to be able to see the wiki. We don't need any restriction information, so we can go ahead and save that. Okay, to demonstrate that the groups worked, I'm going to go to Users, Enrolled Users. I'm going to go to Denzel Washington. I'm going to go to Login As. So for all intents and purposes, I'm now Denzel Washington. A childhood dream come true. Okay, so back on our example course as Denzel Washington, I can go into this group wiki and I'm going to create a page, and the first page is going to be called Producer Surplus. The only format we ever need to worry about with wikis is HTML format, and we can create a page. So we want to put some information in here, perhaps hello, this is our group wiki, and I'm going to show you something else which probably will need to be explained to students. In order to link somewhere in this Moodle wiki, we have to put them between square brackets, and you could have a link like this, copied and pasted from somewhere on the web perhaps, or you could have a link like this. Now, this second one would link to page 2 of the wiki, but currently we only have one page and it's called Producer Surplus. So we need to create that second page. How do you create a second page? Simply by putting 2 pairs of square brackets around your link. Once we hit save, we now have a page 2 that we can click on and we get this option. So we've successfully created a page 2. Okay, so we've effectively created our first page in our wiki as a member of Group B. Now, as if by magic, I'm going to log out as Denzel Washington and log in as Sally Test Student. Then we'll see what the group wiki looks like from her point of view. Okay, so I'm back as Sally Test Student. Now if I scroll down and click into the group wiki, we should find that there's nothing there. Yep, so there are no existing pages. We have the option to create our first page called Producer Surplus, which I set in the settings. So both groups are totally separate. Now as the teacher, you can actually view both groups, no problem. Simply by going to View as a teacher. But I'm not going to go into that. I think this has been a fairly good overview of the wiki. Hopefully you can see how this will be useful. Wikis are actually quite useful when brainstorming ideas, or they're good in conjunction with other group project type activities. So if your group is going to design something, they might want to have a wiki as well, so that they can discuss things, brainstorm ideas, and build a plan in order to move forward.